I'm Jess, Assistant Director at Saline District Library. According to T.S. Eliot, April is the cruelest month, but I beg to differ because it is National Poetry Month, a time to celebrate poets and poetry in all forms. Joining me today to talk about poetry, in particular novels and verse, are Youth Librarian Anna and Youth Assistant Jasmine. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So one form of poetry that has been very popular in the publishing world over the past few years, particularly in youth and teen literature, is the novel in verse. A novel in verse tells a novel-length story through poetry, either through one long poem or several short poems, instead of relying on sentences and paragraphs. Why is this an important form of literature?
I know that a lot of the novels in verse that I have read go into a really deep and dark amount of emotion. What do you think, Jasmine?
I would agree with that. I think novels in verse allow you to tell a story that you can't tell in other forms. With The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, for example, the book is about poetry and her mother's lack of understanding on what it means to her child. And so if that novel was told in a traditional prose format, the message wouldn't hit as hard.
I can see that. I did enjoy The Poet X. I actually was going to talk about another Elizabeth Acevedo novel in verse called Clap When You Land, which is about two girls that find out they share the same dad, but one lives in the Dominican Republic and one lives in the United States. So they have very different lives and have to come together. It made me cry.
I also appreciate Elizabeth Acevedo's work because with the format being poetry, she also reads the audiobooks herself, and she's able to add those pauses and that level of cadence that you wouldn't get with somebody who didn't write the work.
So Jasmine, what are you currently reading for National Poetry Month?
I am currently rereading Jason Reynolds' The Long Way Down. I actually read it in the graphic novel format for the first time, which is a fantastic example because not only is it a graphic novel, but it takes that poetry that he wrote and intertwines the two different genres in a fantastic way that allows the text to reach readers that wouldn't have picked up just a regular novel.
Excellent. Anna, how about you?
I am reading Call Me Athena, Girl from Detroit by Colby Cedar-Smith, and that won a Michigan Book Award last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's set in 1930. It features a girl whose parents immigrated from Greece, and it's inspired by Colby Cedar-Smith's family history.
Do either of you have any recommendations for any other titles or authors if someone wants to try a novel in verse?
For some of our younger readers, Catherine Applegate's novel in verse Otter is a really cute and easily accessible story that follows an otter as she's learning what it means to be an otter.
Yeah, I think we might even be using that for an upcoming book club.
Ooh, check out our events calendar to find out exactly when we'll be reading that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me today to talk about novels in verse. Join me every Friday in April for our National Poetry Month mini podcast to learn more about poetry and get some great reading recommendations. If you enjoyed this recording and want to hear more SDL mini podcasts, you can find them on our YouTube page. Until next time, happy reading.